Boom, 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 boom. Here we are. It is the Kent Beck Scrum. We have Sam, we have Michael, we have Brent. I will go first. I have just been working on the autograders, actually merging in a big chunk into master, which kind of like really cleans up the test output so that we can actually see what's going on. And there were a couple of other minor errors that I've fixed. I've got one of Mamando's TAs, and we're trying to get it all green on his box as well. I'm also redoing some transcripts for the AV102 course in order to maybe re-record those. I've just deployed, I hope it's working. I've just deployed to production the new feature for creating multiple repositories associated with an individual project, and hopefully that will work. That would be nice. And yeah, coming up, it looks like it's there. Yeah, in principle, it's working. Oh gosh, brain collapse. Yeah, coming up, I was planning to do like a quick async voter review. Bing bong bing. Yeah, and that's about the size of it. Lots ago we had our Elixir mob things basically under control. Michael, how are things with you?
Good. So I was just discussing with you about. I had been in the Elixir mob, but I saw the end of that. But maybe I'll review it or look in the code. But in terms of the data mining, we were discussing boosting versus bagging.
We were.
And you were saying how the one book says that boosting is better if you have less than 4,000 features.
Right.
And I was saying that's interesting because boosting is supposed to reduce bias, which is basically when your model is too simple for reality. It's basically bias. So I'm thinking that kind of makes sense if there's a few features, right? You're not capturing a lot of the complexity involved. So like our model is extremely simple. It only has 3 features at the moment. So perhaps the boosting, like ADA boost, would perform better than on bagging, which is basically around the forest.
So might be worth a try if you're interested in changing it over.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Cool. Nice one. All right. And Brent, how are things going with you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Still working on this. Trying to get the JavaScript errors to bubble up to the Ruby tests. It clearly works because some of the existing tests, when I enable the JS errors, there's maybe half a dozen or so tests that the actual JavaScript errors do bubble up to the Cucumber test. However, not for ours.
Right.
So I don't know if it's because the tests are running so quick, because I've been reading, and apparently one of the things with Capybara is sometimes if there's a delay in issues getting written to the console, etc., they won't show up because the test has ended.
Right.
Yeah, so that's where I am at the moment. In theory, it should be simple, but it's not.
No. Yeah, so you're kind of a little bit blocked there.
I think so. Yes, I can continue to read, but I seem to be going round in circles, to be quite honest.
Yeah, well, maybe we can have a look at that together. Give me 1 second here. I think that's our Scrum, unless there's anything else to sort out. I'm just going to post this. Oh, well, I was going to, but it didn't work. Oh, well. Yeah, let's go. I mean, do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I can.
We'll have a look at that and use the remaining time in the Scrum to try and address the issue. in the background, the issue that we have on Autograde is so the set of things that are failing on this TA's machine are the same set of things that are failing on the tests when I have the thing running on the Azure, like a fresh Azure Ubuntu box. It passes locally for me, and it passed on the old Autograder, and manual tests work, and it's kind of frustrating. But anyway,
so this is actually not the test that I'm interested in, but but if I'm to, at the moment this is set to false, but if I update that to true, rerun this test, you can see that the JavaScript errors that this particular test generate get bubbled up to the actual test running in Ruby. Now, if I let me just just bear with me a second. So these are the actual JavaScript errors that are happening with the current problem with the map. So there is definitely errors being caught. But if I now enable this true and actually just run the volunteer, I think it's 104, so just run hours.
And so this is the one that this will check for the. We would be hoping that this would encounter the JavaScript errors.
Yes.
Right?
So if you look here, we've got two scenarios. Well, we've got two. I don't know what you call these organizations. One has the longitude and latitude,
and
one doesn't. And then what we do is we keep moving in and out of the two, which in the actual app generates those errors that I showed you earlier. What we've done all we've actually done is commented out the fix, so that basically, it doesn't ignore these calls when there are no.
Right.
So as far as I'm aware, those errors are getting generated, but unfortunately,
but that particular test is not.
That particular test is not. No.
So yeah, so that all makes sense. So I'm coming in closer and looking at this. So the test here, and where is the, like in this cucumber test that's just run, where is the check that would check for the absence of the error, or you like?
Well, I'm not checking for that yet. So
you're just expecting that if you having set the JS true, that the error would appear.
Absolutely, yes.
Right.
Which is, from the research I've done, that's what people are saying.
Yeah. But so, for example, if you go back to the place where you've commented the thing out, go back to the JS there, and if you put map.js, if you put there like above the if line, like in the demounts, like in between lines 87 and 88, so just put in some broken, like put in some Java, like try call a function that doesn't exist. So just put in the hello world parentheses, save it, and run the test again, and that we would expect that would at least be called sooner. I guess there's a issue. I'm looking at where a debounce info box is. Right. So the debounce open info box, that's called on the mouse enter function. So
yes, it is. Yes.
Right. And we're simulating the mouse enter function by.
So it has worked. Yeah. So that's worked.
Okay. And so show me again the error that we experience in the browser. Like you had up that developer window.
Yeah, I'll just bring that back up.
And that's from like a live running version of the site, right?
That's locally my dev site version of the
Right.
site.
And so we're getting this maximum call stack size exceeded.
Yes.
And I guess that the issue there may well be that just that the call stack size exceeded is going to take a certain amount of time before that fires, right?
Yeah, that's my assumption as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. But so do we know, like, I mean, when we're like, if we go back to the maps.js and we look at this get volop coordinates volop, like, basically, where's the get volop? The problem here is that, I mean, I guess what's not clear to me is why does it end up being a call stack issue? Because it kind of comes in there, and it's going to try and center the map on get volop coordinates volop. Then on line 72 and 73, it's going to try and get these data lat data log. I mean, I guess the floats that come out of there are like not a number or undefined or something.
Yeah.
And then it's going to try and center the map on those, and the like, do you know what I mean? It's not clear what like call stack exceeded would be. There'd be some like infinite loop. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's not clear to me, yeah, how that's going, or if we can catch it earlier. Go on.
I guess maybe it's because, so for example, when going back to here, this is me manually moving in and out of a good and bad,
right.
So, and it doesn't happen straight away, I don't think. So if I just
no, I mean, you kind of have to hit several of them, and I mean, even an extremely small time delay, this thing will run past. But so, for example, if you can you know, in this console, can you like simulate the operation? Well, what you could do actually for me is if you go to the sources window, can you go to there's a sources tab? Yeah, and if you open the assets there, and then you go into, can we find the maps.js? Do you know where it is in that?
I think it's just here, yeah.
So if you open maps.js, and then if you go inside here and put like a breakpoint on line 72, like inside the volop one there, and then if you could like go to the main app, and then like kind of mouse over one that doesn't have lat and long.
Well, that was one that did have it, but it's gone there.
Yeah, so now you can click, like, there's like a blue play button in the top right-hand corner. And just, yeah, so now mouse over one that doesn't, and you can click it again. I mean, maybe it's entering it multiple times, but is it paused on that breakpoint again now?
I think it's just paused totally. Yeah, I can't.
You can't click it.
No, can't do anything.
I mean, that was the problem we were getting with the browser, in as much as, you know, the call stack size. I mean, what I was trying to do there was like to work out, you know, what comes back from those parse float operations, you know, and why would that cause, you know, center map to go on and go completely nuts and leads to exceeding the call stack. But yeah, so I mean, what that makes it seem like is it's going to be a very difficult error to track or trap.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to do, the call stack size exceeded. Yeah, I mean, that's making it seem like we're not going to be able to, you know, test it with this methodology.
No, it does look like that, unfortunately.
And I think, well, so ironically, we may need to go back to the Jazz. I mean, we could be setting up an inspector so that we could get more information and better understand how the call stack is working. But I mean, unless you were just to put like a sleep statement.
Yeah, that was what I was going to try next. Yeah, was just see if that works. Yeah, that was going to be my next move. I guess we could try.
Yeah, you could try. I think you would. I mean, the sleep probably has the best. I mean, at least we've demonstrated there that, and in that particular test, that an error will be caught if it actually gets thrown.
So, we would actually have to do it.
Well, I guess, are you, like, have you got a command that's saying, like, I'm going to mouse over this one and it's the one that doesn't have lat long, and then after having done it, like,
yeah, that's one. It's just here, isn't it? So if I do,
or select one even there.
Yeah. And then if I rerun that. Ah, wait a minute, that's going to fail anyway, because we've still got...
Yeah, you want to remove that one.
Yeah, so it's failed.
Oh, has it? In the way that we expect?
Yes.
The failure notice is expected to find CSS center map on op 2 times, and it's...
Oh, okay, that's not failed what I would have expected. So why?
Well, I mean, it may just be that if the browser has locked up,
Yeah,
that it just can't get any CSS back from it. So, I mean, the thing to check now is if you put the debounce,
back in. Yeah.
88 and 91 back in, then we might have got what we want.
And then I guess what we should do is put the JavaScript back to false as well and retest.
Well, I would. I don't know,
because
what?
because that is causing a lot of other tests to fail anyway.
Oh, I see. Okay,
So
but presumably
we can make it just specific to these tests.
Okay, you could like just yes. Well, you're right, and so that's now we've got a test that passes and fails appropriately. Yes, and so I mean you can turn it off, and I mean you can maybe even see because if the browser locks up, even if it's like ignoring the JS errors, it may still fail in the right way.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So
yeah.
Just
okay,
go back here and.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you kind of got it. We've maybe unblocked you or given you a bit further lease of life there.
Yeah.
I do know a very trivial thing. I do notice that the debounce open info box is missing an N there on lines 87 and 100, but that can be added anytime. Well, I'm gonna nip off and do a quick async voter update.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll check in again tomorrow in a Scrum or in the local support meeting.
Yeah, no, that worked. But yeah, okay, I'll have a play, and yeah, I'll sure catch up with you tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thanks, Brent.
Cheers. Thanks.
Bye for now.
Bye.